social distance. Wherever that is for you, I hope that you are doing well and that things are going all right for you. This is, I guess, Monday the 23rd, and welcome to another edition of Shelter Radio or Radio Shelter. I'm not picky. You can call it whatever you want. I am going to play a few songs and talk a little bit, and then I'll be back with you tomorrow. But I just want to say, first of all, thank you to everyone who has said kind words over the last few days from my starting this. The response has been really nice, and it's good to connect with people and to have them say, "Ooh, I like that song," or "Wow, there are better versions of that song, but you did fine." I'm grateful for all of it, and I hope that the connection holds out. I hope that you can hear all right, and that all is going well in your particular part of the universe. Again, this is an exercise in social distance without being socially indifferent. And so if you see an old friend in the feed, say hello, reconnect, find some ways to share some good stuff in the midst of all of this. Attractive package, sugar-coated pill, keeps you guessing, weight of the lies we tell, keeps us still, hunger for freedom, big as the sky, hold your arms out to it asking, life, please don't pass me by. Life, please don't pass them by. Life, please don't pass us by. Across the rusted plain, I am looking for something true. In spite of all my pain, I still believe in you. Oh yeah, now across the rusted plain, there is a sky of blue. In spite of all my pain, I still believe. I still believe. I still believe in you. Okay, there's a story about that song. That song is called Rusted Plain, and it's a song I wrote with a band I used to play with called Feyerabend. And so shout out to Kay Stanton and Jason Neesmith, who used to be in that band, and also later we were joined by Ron Hine and by Kenny Howes, great musicians, all of them, and I loved playing with them. But I was, playing both with that band and then also playing solo shows, and I would play a lot of shows at little coffee houses around in Atlanta. And Rusted Plain was something that I played a lot with the band, but I wasn't that crazy about the song, and I thought it's not my strongest song, not a song I really, that really kind of speaks to me, and so I didn't play it very much. And then I played it one night at a coffee house, and Elizabeth Fitch my dear departed friend Elizabeth Fitch, who passed away a number of years ago, came up to me after the show and said, "Wow, you played my favorite song tonight." And I was thinking of any number of songs. I was like, "Yeah, probably one of the ones that I liked." But she was like, "You played my favorite song." I said, "Oh, what's your favorite song?" And she said, "Rusted Plain." And that taught me an important lesson, that you don't always value yourself or your creative endeavors the way that other people do, and that something that you think is a throwaway song, and I really did think that Rusted Plain was kind of a throwaway song, that could be somebody else's favorite piece of whatever it is that you do. And so, I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say with this is don't always be your own critic, but listen to others and the wisdom that they give you about the stuff that you do, because maybe the stuff that you think isn't very good is better than you think, and maybe it's what somebody's really, really waiting for when they show up to see you. So for whatever that's worth, you got a lot of value in you, friends, and don't underplay it. Lucy Bell wears a dress of pretty printed pattern gingham and a mask. It's indistinct, and though her eyes hold many whisperings and secrets, I don't ask. It's a quarter story novel that's been marked down to a dime, and I will walk its floor just to pass the time. Ralph Eugene is growing thin, but he doesn't seem to notice or to mind. He's got a box with a lid, and in it he saves all the moments he can find, and laughter and some color to his monochrome pain. As we sit upon the stairway, all our faces look the same. Oh yeah. Holy man counts the time, 'cause he knows all the hands are broken off the clock. Lucy Bell winks and smiles, 'cause she has found another moment for his box. Laughter frames the picture with a silent refrain. As we stare out of this window, all our faces look the same. All right. I talked a little bit about that song yesterday. That song is called "The Life You Save May Be Your Own," and it's based loosely off of a Flannery O'Connor short story, Filtered, through a series of photographs by Ralph Eugene Meatyard, Meatyard. If you've got functioning internet, Google Ralph Eugene Meatyard and you're in for a treat because his pictures are bizarre. They're just bizarre. But that's the kind of ethos of the song. But if you do Google Ralph Eugene Meatyard, look up in particular the story behind his last set of photos called The Family Album of Lucy Bell Crater, and the story about what was going on in Ralph Eugene's life while he was photographing those pictures. And it's a heartbreaking but also inspirational story. And I've written a couple of songs around that idea of Ralph Eugene. Another song that I did many years later was a song called Mirk and Courage, which also deals with death and loss, both of Ralph Eugene, but also of an old friend of mine by the name of Bennett Forbes. And my daughter has her middle name is Bennett, named after that friend. I'm telling you a lot today. Okay, anyway, but also in the third verse of that song, there's this kind of line that says, "A holy man counts the time." That holy man ended up being a friend of Ralph Eugene Meatyard's, a monk by the name of Thomas Merton. And the weirdness of my life and the way that these things work, I'm now very good friends with Father Dan Haran, who is a scholar of Thomas Merton and is actually editing the collected letters of Thomas Merton. And so it's just interesting how the universe arranges things. So just kind of jigsaw puzzle pieces fitting together. And here's another jigsaw puzzle piece. I mean, if you're looking for something that fits, this fits everything. She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus and America too. She's a good girl, crazy, loves horses and her boyfriend too. It's a long day living in Reseda. There's a freeway running through my dining room, and I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad boy for drinking skinny mocha lattes, but I'm free falling. I'm free falling. All the vampires down in the valley move west down Ventura Boulevard, and all the bad boys are standing in the shadows, and all the werewolves are giving them broken hearts. But I'm free falling. I'm free falling. Sing along now. Free falling now, I'm 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 free falling. Shh! I'm having a breakdown during this pandemic, social distancing, and here I am on the internet, not socially indifferent, and I'm making this work the best that I can, and I'm free. I'm free. Free falling. Na, na, na. I'm free. Free falling, I am Okay. So back when I used to play shows, I would be off stage. I would be David Dault. That was my civilian name. And when I would get on stage, I would be Dave Dault. And that period of time when I was differentiating between my persona on stage of Dave Dault and the persona off stage of David Dault, that was the period that I call the acoustic madman period. And I would get on stage and I would do antics like you just saw. And as my body got older and as my music evolved, I became less interested in that. And so when I went back to performing, I started performing under David Dault and left the acoustic madman behind. But every once in a while, it's good to bring the madman out. To quote that great theologian, the dearly departed Robin Williams, sometimes you got to be a little full goose bozo, you know. And as Robin Williams would say, not so much that you become stupid, but just enough that you keep some spirit and craziness in your life. And you know, this is a time when we need outlets, right? A time when we need to kind of let it go a little bit, and maybe hooting and hollering, or at least laughing, is an important part of this. During that period of time when I was doing the acoustic madman stuff, I also used to do this particular cover, and I don't play guitar with it. I just sing it. I held your hand and told you that I loved you. You turned around and walked straight out the door. Seems like holding your hand was not enough, so I want to do something more. Oh, I want to hold your ear. Baby, want to hold your ear. Baby, want to hold your ear till you hear it loud and clear that I love you. Oh, I want to hold your eyes, baby, lovely shape and size, baby. Want to hold your eyes till you see and realize that I love you. I want to hold your nose. I want to hold your tooth. I won't let you breathe or eat until you know the truth. I love you. Oh, I want to hold your hair, baby, show you that I care, baby. And it's only fair to tell you what I intend to do. I'm gonna keep what I hold here, your nose, your eyes, your tooth, your ear. And I'm gonna hold them till you say you love me too. Bop, 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 bop. All right, that song is creepy as heck. And it and it sounds really stalkerish, and it's not good practice during social distancing to hold somebody's ear. The only justification that I have for why I keep singing that song is that it was introduced to me through Sesame Street. So it's the most wholesome, creepy song you could possibly imagine, because my hero on Sesame Street, Bert, sang it on an album from, gosh, more than 40 years ago called Bert's Blockbusters, which is how it was introduced to me. I will say that this time of social distancing and sheltering in place has brought out my inner Bert. I have become, usually I'm a cyclone of chaos, or at least I seem to be, but really deep inside, I'm not a chaos Muppet, I'm an order Muppet. And so a lot of organization and cleaning and house activities have been happening in the past few days as I have been getting back in touch with my inner Bert. So that might be a fun thing. Figure out what Muppet you are during these times of social distancing, and maybe write them in the comments. What Muppet are you? I'm Bert. I'm so totally Bert, it's not even funny. And thankfully I met my Ernie, and that's all good. Okay, all right. Here's the last one for today. I'll be back tomorrow at around 2. God willing, and we'll continue this experiment in social distancing without social indifference. Please, please, please take care of one another and look out for each other. I got a thumbtack and a picture that I want to hang on my wall. I got a thumbtack. It's a picture that I made and I don't want it to fall. But I I got distracted, left the tack on the floor, and Mama said I couldn't play with tacks anymore. I got some sticky tape and a picture that I want to hang on my wall. I got some sticky tape. It's a picture that I made and I don't want it to fall. But when I started pulling, that tape stuck everywhere, on my clothes and on my nose and on my shoes and my hair. I got a glue stick and a picture that I want to hang on my wall. I got a glue stick. It's a picture that I made and I don't want it to fall. But I took the cap off sometime last July. I haven't seen it since, and now the glue stick is dry. And when you are 4, your resources, they are limited. Your fingers are very small. You don't know how to take this little thing that you have made and hang it on the wall. And you start to cry in your prepubescent angst, which is different from your pubescent angst, which is different from your middle 20s angst, which is different from your almost 50 angst. But that's another song. And your mom, in her infinite wisdom, she lost it later. That's yet another song. She comes and she looks at your predicament, and while keeping a good social distance, but she loves you and she's gonna hug you anyway. She comes in and she says, honey, David, chill out. Son, chill. I've got a fridge, dear, and a magnet that will work as well as your glue. I got a fridge, dear. It's the perfect place to hang the picture made by you. I am so thankful that each and every one of you tunes in, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching later. This has helped to keep me sane. Having something to look forward to each day is really good, and I'm grateful. And I am glad that some of you are helped by this too. I love you very much, and I miss you, and I'm looking forward to when we can gather together again in person and greet each other. Until then, you're in my prayers, and you're in my thoughts, and please take care of one another, and please support one another, and find ways to share that brilliance that maybe you don't even think is that brilliant with the world, because maybe somebody needs it right now. You know, you may not think that it's your best song, but it might be somebody's favorite song. You might not think it's your best picture or your best words, but it might be somebody's favorite words. Take some time. Find a way to unearth that thing that you think is not so great and share it with the world. And we'll greet again tomorrow. Thank you.